Welcome to Fintech Daydreaming, the podcast that dives into the world of banking technologies and the ever-changing landscape of fintech companies. We bring you real-life examples from global and local thought leaders, as well as experts working within the financial industry, and seek out the best stories from the front lines of financial services innovation, where dreams of industry pioneers meet reality. Hosted by Krogdahl and Ville Sointu, this is Fintech Daydreaming.
Hey, my man.
How we doing?
Yeah, how we doing?
Doing good.
Yeah?
How about you?
Sorry?
How about you?
No, I'm good. I'm actually really good. I'm really good. Hey, I was going through some of our old recordings.
Okay.
Found the episode with Jim Marous. Do you remember that one?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, where we had this fantastic dialogue beforehand around, podcasting, getting guests and everything else.
Yeah.
I thought we'd put it out as a little snippet. What do you think?
Yeah, why not? I mean,
You want to check it?
Let's see, that might be a little bit better. Okay, so I'm traveling, and so I'm working with different backgrounds. They're not office backgrounds, and different elements. And yesterday I taped a podcast, and the entire thing, what we do in our thing is we use a studio mic with a Zoom device that records the audio on a real high definition, and they merge the two. And so there wasn't a doggone thing, and I still haven't been able to figure out that I recorded, that got captured. So we're going to end up, it'll be only the second time we've ever used the computer audio, which obviously is not what you prefer, because you're hearing all the echoes now that I'm hearing. So not perfect.
But actually, at the end of the day, what we have learned through our experiences is that people come for the content, not necessarily for the quality.
Oh, crap. That means I got to say something today.
A light-hearted discussion will be good enough, so don't worry.
Well, you know what? I get away. I found that I get away with the fact that I'm as animated as I am on stage, and even when I just do an audio broadcast, I find that if you stay really animated and do what you normally do, it comes across on the audio, which is it helps.
Yeah, be yourself, and the rest just flows. Absolutely.
Yeah, so, you know what you're gonna get when you see me. So you might as well just, if you don't want it, just, it's an easy one button away.
Very true. So you had a quick look at the script. Are you happy with it?
Oh gosh, yeah.
Okay, fantastic. And then we try to aim for about half an hour. We always end up being 45 minutes because the discussions are so good.
Oh my God, this is funny. It's like talking to myself. I start off with a thought, 20 minutes is where I wanted to be, because I thought that's a commute. Well, nobody's been doing commutes. And then you get into them. I have some that have been like 58 minutes. I go, God, it's not where I wanted to go, but I was enjoying it. And if, usually it's one of those things that if you enjoy it, it goes for the length of the time that you enjoy it.
Exactly.
How long have you been doing the podcast?
We've been doing it now. What is it, Ville? Just under a year.
About a year.
About half a year.
Is it not the most liberating thing in the world?
It's fantastic.
To me, it was like, I'll try a new direction. And I recorded the first 4 or 5 at an event we had. So I was pulling in Gary Vaynerchuk and a couple other people and doing quick video and audio things. And I really enjoyed it, but we sat on them for like 4 months. And then I started doing them. And the more I did them, the more addicting it became from a standpoint of education. And you start to get perspectives that are sometimes hard to convey. For instance, one major perspective that I've gotten is that when you talk to a fintech leader versus a banking leader, there's a vastly different personality. There's an enthusiasm, a commitment. You almost feel like you want to jump over into the screen and say, tell me where to go, I'm following you.
Yeah.
In addition, I've been very lucky, and you guys have been very lucky to get some guests that are pretty damn cool. It's neat. And those create opportunities to start dropping names to get more cool guests.
Exactly.
The problem with that is there are a lot of companies dying to plug their stuff.
Yeah.
And so now I'm getting 10, maybe more a day of companies saying, hey, you'd be really interested in this person. I go, don't know the company, don't know the person. I'd like to have one or the other be a pull if I can. And then you go, and honestly, your perception or your topic is basically is plain Jane. It's what I would have as my first one maybe, but from then on I've gone beyond that. It's very strange, but it's so much fun.
Yes.
Keeping up with it, people don't understand that keeping up with it is really tough, where you go, I got to hit that cadence, and people underestimate. It's like writing a blog or writing, doing publications. You go, hey, it sounds really good, and so you start having to do it, and you have deadlines, and you guys know that you commit to a time slot, and if you fall off of it, people catch it. And I told this to Ron Shevlin when he started writing for the Forbes. I said, Ron, he was going to take the 4th or 5th Monday off when he started the blog. I said, you can't. He goes, I don't need it. I said, doesn't matter. People are going, if you want people to come to you regularly, you got to build a regularity and build it so if you have 7 of them done, don't post them. You got to post because it's not going to give you any added benefit. And it's crazy stuff.
It's all the editing and everything else that goes on behind the scene that, you have to do it. You can't just record it and throw it out there. You do need to edit it, and you have to, so much work behind the scenes.
Yeah. Well, we've been doing video now for a month and a half, and we have a sponsor that we haven't announced yet for the overall podcast. And I haven't introduced the video part because that's going to be an add-on. Yep. And I want to have it there, but I want to have it presented correctly and have inventory already there. And then, my idea initially was I was going to take the interviews and take the transcripts and put them into posts, and it'd be easy. Well, editing the discussion, you start to get the point you're going, if I want to use it for written content, I start to look at the person I'm speaking to going, I could use shorter answers because I'm going to have to cut this thing down. And I tell people it's going to be an abridged version, and I'm even going to change some of your wording to make sure you get across what you want to get across. But I thought it would save me time and get me out of having to post every week. I'm going like, oh no, it is as long of it's an hour and a half process to edit it and make it so that you really say, there's an article,
Exactly.
Crazy stuff.
Yeah. So much work behind the scenes, but it's worth it in the end, right? It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's rewarding.
It is. But so you've seen the script, that we're fairly sort of lighthearted and chitty chatty in this. Yep. It's all about being laid back and having a nice discussion. Yep. And then at the end, it's going to be published next week, Friday. If you're happy at the end to just say, I don't think I've said anything controversial, please publish, then we'll publish it. Otherwise, I'll give you the option to listen to it or watch the video.
I'll tell you up front. Everything I say is going to be something I don't have any problem saying in public. Okay. And that you have my approval to publish. You have my approval to do whatever you want with the content. And if it gets into something, it's never going to get into things because I don't talk about anything controversial. So that's I'm kind of lucky that way. Fantastic. Yeah, it's interesting. I've only had one person want to do a redo, and it wasn't because of an edit. She just thought she gave too long of answers, and she said, "I'd like to do it again." Yep. And she was one of our early guests. She was from France, and I said, "You know what? I go with it. I'm going with you." But people say, "Well, can we look at it afterwards?" No, yeah. This is like an interview with the Wall Street Journal. You don't get to see this shit afterwards. Yeah. So
that's a good way of putting it. Maybe we should start doing that, Ville, and just say, you agreed to come on the show. We will publish what we record.
Oh yeah.
might be a good way of doing it, right?
You'd love to be nice to them, but that puts a question mark at it that you don't need. And the reality is when they talk to any reporter, which is what you are, they don't get editing rights. Somebody gave me a thing going, "Oh, we'd like the description to be this." I said, "I'll put in the published part. That's okay. Oh, and by the way, we'd like to talk about this." I said, "No, you don't understand. You're coming on the show because you want to be published. You want to be published.
Yes.
if you become a salesperson about a solution provider, I will just tell you, it's going to hurt you and me because no one wants to hear it.
Yes.
One of my best interviews was with Personetics, and I really liked the interview, but the fact that I put the company's name front and center, I've got nowhere near the traction I've had on other things. I've repositioned it a couple of times, but it's just tough.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And we've
Okay.
actually talked to Ville about getting Personetics onto the show, haven't we? So
Yeah.
A very good interview. A very good interview. Because they got a solution that talks about something that's important to the banking industry. They don't come on and you tell them up front, guys, this is an advertisement for you, but they'll allude to their product, but that's okay because it's different.
Yeah.
And bottom line is, I'm trying to help, as I tell people, I'm trying to pay it backwards. I'm trying to help people that are in the banking industry do things right.
Yeah.
And if I can make one or two companies think differently, it's a home run. So, okay.
So let's get on with the show and
Yep.
do the recording.